Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna turn out fine if we all.
And let's start out with where you were born. When and where were you born?
I was born in 1924 on a little farm in Lewis County.
Uh-huh. And what day was that?
April the 16th.
April 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was near Darris, I remember Dad saying. You were born in that little house near Darris?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A house that my dad built.
Yes, yes.
A little 5-room.
Mm-hmm. Little 5-room house on the farm there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who was living there when you were born?
Well, it'd been my 2 youngest brothers. I think Ernest might have still been there. Raymond was married and moved to Michigan.
Uh-huh.
So there's my 3 brothers and mother and dad.
Yes, yes, okay. Okay, so were you born right there in the house?
Uh-huh.
Was there a midwife came over, or how was it in those days? A doctor came, or what?
The doctor came in. Uh-huh.
Doctor came
Yeah.
in from where? Where do you think the doctor came from?
Williamstown.
From Williamstown.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Williamstown was maybe what, 10 miles or
It'd have
away?
been probably 7-8 miles. from
7, 8
where we
miles
lived.
away. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And I believe his name was Dr. Harris.
Dr. Harris, you remember his name? Huh?
I believe
Yeah.
I've heard my folks talk about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Dr.
Okay.
Harris.
Yeah. So you're born in that little house there,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you remember about growing up in that little house?
Oh, not a great deal. I started school when I was probably about 7, I guess, or
Uh-huh.
6, first grade.
Yeah.
And my youngest brother went to school. He finished up his 8th grade when I started
Uh-huh.
to school.
Yeah.
And we had probably about 6-7 miles to go to school.
Yeah.
That was Allen School.
The Allen School. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you get back and forth to school?
Walked mostly.
6
Yeah,
or 7
we'd
miles?
walk. Yeah. Oh yeah, you did back in those days. You walked.
Yeah.
Sometimes my dad would take me, if it was rainy or bad, maybe he would take me, you know, but as a rule we walked. Yeah.
Did you have to leave pretty early in the morning to get to school
Yeah.
then?
Yeah, we did. And we'd get home kind of late of an evening.
You
of course.
would?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, did school start like 8 o'clock like nowadays, or?
Uh-huh.
It
8
did.
o'clock.
All
Yeah.
right.
Out at 4.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine, kids. Can you imagine nowadays kids wanting to walk 6 or 7 miles to
That's
school?
right. We sure did.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Took our
so-
lunch. They didn't have lunches at that time.
Yeah.
So we always had a lunch bucket. to put
Uh-huh.
our lunch in.
And what kind of stuff would you take for lunch?
Well, whatever my mother could find to fix.
That's about it, isn't it? Yeah.
I really don't remember what all. but
Yeah.
It was always a good lunch. It was a good lunch.
Yeah. Okay. So that was you and your brother Burl that would go to school together.
My first year and his last year, we went together to school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said it was like what, 8th grade was the last
Uh-huh.
grade at the school there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'd go back home. Did you have any chores to do at home when you got back?
Well, a lot of times I'd help my mother with either gather eggs or, of an evening, whatever, little chores.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your homework?
Yeah.
Did they even give
Yeah,
homework?
we did. We
Yeah.
had homework. We had arithmetic and reading,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you remember your school teacher's name? Or was that at the other school that you remembered his name?
I had Loretta was one of my teacher's names.
Yeah.
Janola was one of my teacher's names.
Genola. Yeah.
And I think that's among one too that I had then.
Right, right.
Main ones.
That's probably the one-room school, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And how many kids would there have been in your school?
They would probably be 8 or 9 maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 And did they all walk to school like you did?
Mhm. They sure did. They sure did.
So they didn't complain because everybody did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you lived in that house then through, how old were you when you left the house there?
moved to the Hetzler place when I was 10, maybe, something
Yeah.
like that. I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved to another farm.
Yeah. You were saying that, it was like almost during the Depression time, people couldn't pay their taxes. And you want to say more about that, how you had to leave the house, what happened, and...
Yeah, uh, uh, yeah, my dad couldn't pay the tax. A lot of people moved. Usually the 1st of March is when your contract run out on the farm.
Uh-huh.
And you either moved or you renewed the contract.
Right,
Or the
right.
yeah.
But they couldn't pay the taxes, so
Yeah,
it was like the
that's it.
county that said,
Yeah,
you
county
gotta leave.
taxes.
Wow,
Yeah.
but that was quite a blow to everybody to
Yeah,
have to leave
it did.
there.
A lot of people affected.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Of course, that was kind of the Depression years,
Yes.
going in Depression. So
Yeah, yeah. So when you left the house, it was you and Burl and
it'd been.
your mom and dad?
I imagine by then probably my 2 youngest brothers.
Oh,
was still
Herb
at
and Burl
home.
were still
Yeah, I
there.
think Ernest maybe had went to Michigan
Yeah,
and went to work.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so how did you find where to move to? What was it like in those days trying to look for another place to live, another farm to
Well,
rent?
you just had to look and look. My dad would just go every place, and inquiring where a place is to rent.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he, I guess somebody maybe told him about the Hetzler place going to be rented.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to Quincy. That's where the people was that owned the Hetzler farm.
Yeah.
And that's where he rented that place in.
Well, thank goodness he found that.
Yeah.
So you moved straight from your house to the Hetzler place then.
We sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah. Was that a lot of trouble to move all your stuff over? Because you didn't have a lot of vehicles to move things with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we had all our furniture and machinery and
Yeah.
Oh yeah, livestock. We had
Right,
livestock.
right.
Yeah.
yeah, because you probably had a horse and wagon, did you,
Uh-huh.
up there?
Had a wagon.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we had a truck. Somebody had a truck. I don't remember that, but probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helped move.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the family had a car?
Uh-huh.
Because you said
Yeah,
your
we had a
grandpa
car.
drove to Quincy, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember the kind of a car, of course, an old one, but I
Oh,
don't remember
yeah.
what it was.
Well, what year was that you moved over? You said you were 10, so that would have been 1930.
Trying to think, probably it'd been the early 30s.
Early 30s anyway.
1930s,
Yeah.
some 4 or 5, I don't know, remember for sure.
Yeah. Well, if the taxes were due in like March 1st,
Uh-huh.
couldn't be paid. When did you leave that house? Do you know? Did you have a couple months to move out, or?
It probably took us a couple of months before we found a place to move to.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So more
But
like
you was
spring.
allowed so much time, to
Good.
find another place.
So the weather was better by the time you had to move?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that road that goes up to the house was a pretty mean road. That lane
Yes.
was all dirt and a little
Yeah.
bit of gravel and mud, and
Yeah.
in
Well,
the
there's
spring
mud-
that'd be bad.
Very little gravel, there's mostly mud,
Yes, yes. Probably took several trips then to move from there to the Hetzler place.
Pardon?
Probably took several trips to go from
Oh,
this
yeah, it
house to
did.
Hetzler back
Oh,
and
sure.
forth, and
Yeah, yeah.
because Hetzler would be maybe, I don't know what, 12, 15 miles away, or
I would, I don't know if it's quite that far. I'd say maybe 10
10 miles away. Yeah,
at the most.
yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. So, what did you remember about that move and seeing the new place?
Well,
and-
I remember
moving
my
in.
cat. I wanted to take my cat with me.
You had a cat.
And it jumped
Cat.
jumped out of the car, and my dad didn't want to stop and pick it up, so I don't know
Oh.
whether it finally found us or not. I
Oh,
don't know.
no.
But I wanted to take that cat with me.
Yeah, yeah.
And Dad didn't want to stop. He wanted to get down there and get unloaded and moved,
No time to take a minute and get that cat.
Yeah.
Do you remember your cat's name?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't remember.
But you think the cat might have found you eventually, huh?
But it could have.
It
I
might
don't
come
know. I
up.
don't remember. It's been quite a few years ago. So,
Yeah.
but a lot of times they do. They find you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Now, was Raymond or Ernest able to come back and help you move?
No.
They weren't. They were
No,
still
they
in
were
Michigan.
in Michigan, and they just, they'd have to on a vacation or something. Well, they
Of
didn't
course.
have a vacation at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
So, no.
yeah. Any neighbors help you move, or was it just
I
you?
think some of the neighbors probably come in and help. My dad's brothers, my
Yes,
uncles, yeah.
yes,
help
yeah.
move, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like that would have been a pretty sad time to have to move out like that, and
Yeah.
wonder what the future is gonna bring to you here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you remember when you first saw the Hetzler place? What you thought of it?
I thought, oh my goodness, what a big house, a big barn, so much bigger than what we were living in.
It was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of more acreage. I forget how many acres was there,
Uh-huh.
but larger than what we was used to.
Yeah. 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 So did you get to pick out your own bedroom when you got there?
Yeah, but there's about 3 bedrooms, I believe, to it.
Mhm.
I think it was a 6-room house,
Yeah.
and yeah, we had our own bedrooms and plenty of room. Basement. We wasn't used to a basement.
It had
We
a
had
basement.
basement.
Yeah. Probably one of those dugout kind of basements are good for storing the
Yeah. Yeah.
apples in the winter and this kind
Right.
of stuff. And
Right. Yeah.
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 I remember in the fall, my dad would always go to around Wayland and pick up watermelons. You'd get them for like 10 cents a piece.
Yes.
So he'd store them down there in that basement,
Yeah. Sure.
down there
sure.
where it's cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. You're living in the Hetzler farm there. You just moved in, and now you're a long way from school, because this was like about what 8 miles the other side of your
Yeah.
house, and school's
Yeah,
8 miles the other way.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yeah, probably about the same distance. Wouldn't have been very much difference. I can imagine.
Good to go there. Okay, so now you moved into the Hetzler house, and you picked out a bedroom there, and there were 3 bedrooms and 6 rooms in the house. Yeah, because the other house had maybe what 4 rooms?
I think it was
or
a 2-bedroom.
2-bedroom
Yeah.
and
And dining room and a kitchen and living room.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Hmm. And let's see. So I was thinking about the schools. Where'd you go to school from the Hetzler place?
Went to Plano.
A Plano school. And how far away was that for you?
Well, it's probably about 7 miles, I'd say.
Still 7 miles. You didn't get any
it's
closer,
just
did you?
Really about the same distance, to the Allen School, where I
Yeah.
first started,
Mhm.
and probably about the same distance.
Same distance there, yeah. So now did you and Grandpa Spurgeon, Dad Burl go to school there together still,
Mhm.
or
Not at Plano. He was through school.
you finished?
So just Allen and Burl and I went together. I went by myself when I went to Plano.
You did, and you were like about 10 years old, you said?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I hated starting a new school. I didn't know anyone.
Nope.
It was terrible.
How many kids were in that school?
Oh, probably 6, 7, I don't know. I don't remember for
It's
sure.
about the same.
But not anymore, I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you remember about going to school there besides being the new kid on the school there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember anything else about that school?
Yeah. It was a nice little schoolhouse. Of course, you had a nice yard to play ball. We had ball games at recess. Everybody would go out and play. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the teacher? Were they pretty strict, or how were they nice, or?
They wasn't real strict, but yet, you did what they said. That's
Yeah.
all it mattered to.
And you were there for how long at that school?
Oh, probably, I think probably the 6th or 7th grade I might have moved to the Hetzler place.
Well,
Started
yeah.
in Plano.
But in Plano, how long were you in the Plano school?
At the Allen School,
In the Plano school.
At
How
the
long
Plano?
Yeah, in the Plano,
I'll say 4 years.
about 4
Something
years
like that,
there,
I
so
believe.
10 till you're about 14.
Yeah.
Something
Like that.
Yeah. Okay. And you and in the Hetzler house was and Grandpa, and then Herb and Burl and you. Okay. And then let's see, I can't think what year that would have been, but then Grandma passed away in the Hetzler farm there. Your mom.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
Hetzler place.
Yeah. Do you remember what year that was that she died?
Probably 30, let's see, 37 could have been.
About 37.
I believe something like that.
About 37.
Yeah, I think I was like about 14 when she passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was working when she died. She was out gathering eggs. She was in the barn, did I hear?
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
She must have done a lot of hard work around that farm.
Really? Well, you
Yeah.
did in those days
Yeah.
around a farm.
Yes.
Yeah, you had work from before daylight till after dark,
Yes.
especially in the harvest time,
Yeah. Yeah.
when you was bringing in the crops and picking corn and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you get to do a lot of things around there too as you were getting older there?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. What can you remember about?
Well, like gathering the eggs, probably helping with the chickens, whatever was needed to
Feeding
be
the
clean
chickens,
out the
clean,
house or whatever. Just ordinary things around a farm.
Yes.
What you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get to cook there with your mom?
Oh, yeah,
She taught you how to cook?
yeah, oh, yeah.
What kind of things do you remember cooking there?
Oh, fried potatoes, and of course we had our own meat and stuff, we had our own there. So we'd probably have ham and, ordinary, what you'd have on the farm.
Right, you had hogs and chicken.
Yeah, vegetables. My mother would can green beans and vegetables in the fall,
Yeah.
tomatoes.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Store
we
them
lived
down
pretty
the
good.
cellar there
Yeah.
in the basement. Yes, yes. And you had cows,
Uh-huh.
did you? Okay, so who got to milk the cows?
Oh, usually my brothers.
The brothers
Yeah,
did
my
that.
brothers. Yeah, they milked the cows.
Yeah.
We had hogs and horses and,
Ah,
yeah.
yeah. And the horses were for working, or what were the horses for?
No, they was for to pull the plows
The
and
working
do the,
horse.
put the crop in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
finally, as the tractors come out, well, my dad was able to get a tractor, and that helped.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big difference. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so let's see, you and your brothers were living there, and then why did you leave the Hetzler place?
Pardon me?
Why did you leave the Hetzler place then?
It
What-
sold.
And this one you said that somebody actually bought the farm. It was one of your cousins bought the Hetzler farm out from under you.
Yeah, the Hetzler, yeah. That
Yeah.
was when we moved to Hetzler place that my cousin bought the farm.
That you paid
We
the
didn't
rent
know
every year, and Grandpa went to pay the rent
Yeah,
and found out that somebody bought the farm.
yeah. We went down to pay the rent. We had to go to Quincy. That's where the landlord lived.
Uh-huh.
And we paid our rent. And that's when we was told that the house or the place was being sold.
Oh, what a shock that had to be. But
Yeah.
that was a quiet drive back home after that.
You better believe that's a long drive.
And you had to come home and tell everybody else at home what had happened here.
Yeah, sure did.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah.
That was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what everybody do? They heard we're gonna be we got to move out of here again.
Yeah.
Second time we had to leave our house,
Yeah.
and then what did people do?
Yeah. Sure did.
Yeah. So what did your dad decide to do then with the family? What was he gonna? Where was he
Pardon
gonna-
me?
Where was your dad gonna take the family, or what was he gonna do then? You had to move
Well,
out of
I
Hetzler.
think maybe that's probably when he might have went to Michigan to work. I don't remember for sure. But,
Yeah.
It was kind of a shocker.
Very shocker, because let's see, who was living there? It would be Grandpa was there, your dad was there,
Mhm.
and then you and Burl and Herb and your mom had passed away.
Mhm.
So it was the four of you living there
Mhm.
at that time.
Yeah.
Said, hey, we.
I think Burl might have been in Michigan working. I think your dad, he had probably went up there.
Oh, so before we lost the
Yeah,
you lost the
Herb,
Hetzler
yeah.
place.
There was just Herb and Dad and I there for a while.
So Burl had gone to Michigan to work.
Uh-huh.
Did
yeah.
he with Raymond up there, or where?
Oh, yeah,
do you remember?
Raymond and Ernest both was up there working.
Were they at the General Motors plant or
General Motors.
General Motors?
Uh-huh.
So he was up there,
Mhm.
and then did he come back down to Missouri before you left the Hetzler place, or was it after? Or?
Well, that's about the time that your mother and dad, got married. And so
Okay.
then they moved down on the farm. They
So
come
Dad
back-
came back to
Yeah, Burl
Missouri.
gave
They
up-
married.
Yeah, your dad gave up his job up there and they moved in with me and Herb and Dad.
Okay.
Yeah, on the farm there for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So they weren't there. Well, let's see. That would have been 37 that they got married, I
Probably.
think.
I would say so. I don't remember for sure.
Okay. And then what year was it you had to leave the Hetzler place that you lost the farm?
I don't remember just when your dad and mother moved into Canton, what year it was.
think
I
it
know
like
I was
50
already
or
working in
something.
Keokuk at that time. I had went to work in the box factory.
Okay, so I'm just trying to get the time here that Grandpa and you and Herb and Dad and Mom were living there, and then you left to go work in Keokuk?
Yeah.
But before they lost the Hetzler farm,
Yeah.
you had gone to Keokuk.
Yeah.
Okay, and why did you go to Keokuk? What took you up there?
Pardon me?
Why did you go up to Keokuk then?
Well, the girl that I went to school with, her brother lived in Keokuk. And we wanted to get out and get us a job. We was about 17 or something, or 18, I guess.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make our own money. You know,
Sure.
money was scarce in around home.
Yes, yes.
So we went up and lived with her brother and family. And we both went to work at this box factory.
What was that like? That was a big move from this little farm
Yeah.
thing to the big city of Keokuk.
It was a change. It was
Yeah.
different. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
yeah. And what kind of job were you doing there at the box factory?
Made cardboard boxes. It was during the war, and we made a lot of war boxes saying to send things overseas.
Yeah.
And that was my job to put these boxes together and run them through a machine.
Oh, wow.
Get
Yeah.
them ready, yeah.
Yeah. So was that like 8 hours a day, or how?
8
What kind of
hours.
shift did you have?
8 hours a day, and sometimes we'd have to work till noon on Saturday. Yeah, if we had extra orders come in,
Yes.
well, we'd have to work.
Well, that was good for the business there, and you,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you were in Keokuk, and did you stay there most all the time? I mean, you lived there during the week, but did you ever come back to?
Oh yeah, I'd come back down on
Down-
the farm, and yeah. Dad and your dad and mother was there.
Yeah. And how would you get back and forth in those days?
Usually train, get the
Keokuk?
train in Keokuk and bring it into Canton. Right
Okay.
into Canton, yeah.
And they would like drive down to get you then?
Yeah. Usually it'd be like a Saturday or maybe Friday afternoon,
Uh-huh.
and maybe they'd come into town to do their shopping.
Well, sure.
Get your groceries. So
Yeah. That's when trains were good service back then and get you around. Yeah.
at this box factory, I made 57 cents an hour.
Wow, big wages. You're a
Big
rich
money.
young lady. Yes, yes.
I think my first check was like $18 or something.
That was $1 million in those days.
You better believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I had room and board. I paid $6.50 a week for my room and board up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And you looks like you might have bought your own clothes because some of those pictures you got some really nice looking dresses there.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
bought
yeah.
those, yeah. Came back, you know. Yeah, yeah. So you'd visit for the weekend, then Sunday maybe go back to Keokuk, or?
Yeah, Sunday afternoon, and I would go back because Monday morning I had to go into work. So
All right.
Sunday afternoon.
Yep. So you were worked up there in Keokuk, and then must have been for quite a few years because they didn't move out of the Hetzler place till about 1950 or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah. So
Something
you
like
were
that.
in Keokuk, and somehow you met Uncle Johnny. How'd that come about?
His cousin had come up and found work up there at the, I don't remember which factory he worked at when he first came up. This was James O'Daniel. So he got in touch with John that there was work up there,
Yeah.
and John lived around Macon. So he come up there and got on at, I guess he started General Mills.
Yeah.
Working right
yeah.
then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This had to have been about 42, something like that.
Okay.
41,
So
42.
right start of the war here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you met him there through a date with this other couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then John, he had to, of course, they drafted him, you know, so he had
Yes.
to go to service.
Yeah.
So he spent 4 years over in Germany with
Right.
the war.
Yeah.
World
So
War
what
II.
year did you get married then?
Before he went over
Okay.
overseas, yeah.
Was it 42 then, or 3? or
43 we was married.
43 or maybe.
Uh-huh.
And what day? What day did you get married?
The 21st December.
December 21.
Uh-huh.
And how long did you get to be together before he had to go over?
Oh, probably maybe a month or not much over that. Till
Yeah.
he had to go to overseas.
Yeah. Did you get to go on a honeymoon?
No, not really. No, during the war, you know, they sent him overseas, so
Yeah.
that was it. So
You didn't go to St. Louis or Des Moines or
No.
anything like that?
no,
Just
we really
Keokuk?
didn't. We didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you and Johnny were married, and he went overseas, and everybody else was still living on the Hetzler place.
Mhm.
So did you still come down once in a
Yeah.
while to Hetzler?
Oh, yeah.
Did they ever come up to see you? in
Oh, yeah,
Keokuk?
occasionally.
They
Yeah, my
would
two
also.
brothers used to come up. In fact, they'd come into the factory where I worked to see what I did.
Oh,
One
yeah.
time he made a trip up there, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
good, yeah. So then, along about 1950 or so, Grandpa or your dad found out they'd sold the farm, had to move out. So you're in Keokuk. They're all down on the Hetzler place. What did they do then? All the people lived in the Hetzler place. It was, Dad and Herb and Burl
Yeah.
and Mom. and
Well, of
Virginia.
course, I guess Herb and Dad, I think, went to Michigan and got work up there for a while. And I think that's maybe when your mother and dad moved to Canton, or
And they moved
I
down
don't
to
remember
Canton.
for sure, just, but probably,
Yeah.
they moved into Canton.
Because they're remembering, Bonnie and Lane remember about living up in Holly, Michigan for a while with Mom and Dad.
About
But-
what?
That Mom and Dad and Bonnie and Elaine lived in Michigan for a while.
Yeah, they did.
We're trying to figure out, when was that then?
Oh, my goodness.
Because
I
after
have-
the Hetzler was lost, then, let's see, Grandpa and Herb, did you say, went to Michigan?
Yeah. That had to have been in middle 40s or late 40s.
Yeah,
I don't
because,
know.
let's see, Bonnie's born in 40, Lane in 42, and they were like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old maybe.
Oh,
So middle 40s, yeah.
probably, yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. So that was before they lost the Hetzler place then? If it was middle 40s, I think we
Yeah.
still had the Hetzler farm.
Yeah. Of course,
So
it
they-
was, yeah. Our cousin had bought it, and
Yeah.
we had to get out.
And go wherever you could go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, but it was when we lost the Hetzler farm. I know that Mom and Dad went to Canton.
Mhm.
They got a house in Canton. Dad got a job down there. And what about Herb and Grandpa? What did they do?
Well, let's see, they went to Michigan to work for a while. And I don't know really, well, I guess they stayed there till the farm was sold, and then they moved out.
Yeah.
When Herb bought a farm down there not too far from where we used to live.
Uh-huh.
And he had made enough money in Michigan, he'd come back and start buying on this farm.
Yeah.
So that had to have been in the late 50s probably, I'd say, something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Yeah. And Grandpa came back down with him, did he? Or
Yeah, he lived in Canton for a while. In fact, he worked at the college,
At the
Yeah,
college?
well,
What did he do there?
washed dishes, worked in the cafeteria.
Your dad did?
Uh-huh,
Yeah?
yeah.
Hadn't heard that. Yeah.
Didn't you? You didn't know that?
No,
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, he
So-
worked at the college.
Yeah. Because I remember he lived in a apartment building down kind of on the highway in Canton.
Yeah,
I remember he had a little room up there.
I don't remember exactly where it was, but I do know he had an apartment.
Yeah, because it was close to where Burl worked at the
Worked,
implement
yeah.
dealer. It was
Yeah.
just right down the street from there.
Really. I didn't know exactly where it was.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's see who we got where. You're in Keokuk, and Johnny's overseas, and then Herb and Grandpa came back down, and Herb bought the farm there. Grandpa stayed in Canton, and Mom and Burl and Virginia, and Bonnie and Lane were living there, and me too. I was there in Canton. Let's see, when did you back out to the farm with Herb? Was it right after he bought the farm, maybe? Or?
I don't remember exactly when it was. When Herb got this farm that he bought, moved on it.
Yeah.
And they both, Herb and Dad, both lived there for a while on this
Uh-huh.
little farm that he bought.
Yeah.
And I don't know just how long they lived
Yeah.
there.
So apparently Grandpa left the apartment building and moved in with Herb then
Mm-hmm,
when they came home.
yeah,
I remember that, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good thing he bought that farm because we got a lot of good out of it.
Oh my, yes he did. He wanted that farm so bad. And
Yeah.
when he found out it was gonna be put up for sale, why,
Yeah.
he wanted to buy it.
And you thought it was like 75 acres?
I think there was.
Yeah.
I believe there's something like that. Yeah.
A lot of that was timber and the creek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of rabbits and squirrels there.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh yeah.
catfish.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, we did. So let's see. So Herb's got the farm there, and Johnny was. When did he get out of the service?
Johnny?
Yeah, about 40,
40,
7 or something.
45,
45.
46.
At the end of the
something like
war, yeah,
that.
he got out.
Yeah, we were married in 43,
Yeah,
and then he went overseas for about 46, 47,
right,
something like that.
right. Yeah, I remember Johnny saying he had a walking tour of Europe, just following that place. Yes, yes, and he got home safe, thank God. And he came back to Keokuk then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then what'd you do in Keokuk after he moved back?
He went to General Mills and went to work. He
Uh-huh.
worked there before he had to go to service.
Yeah.
And of course, in those days, they had to hold the job. When they come back from service, they could go back there.
Yes.
So he went
Yes.
back to General Mills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were living in that apartment still, were you, or did you have a house while
I
he was
had an
gone?
apartment.
Had that apartment.
Uh-huh, yeah.
So where did you live when he came back? Same in the apartment?
We lived in this apartment for just a few months, and then we was able to buy a house. It wasn't real modern, just lights and water is all was in it. And we bought that out in the west part of Keokuk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and moved in there. Yeah.
Okay. Now was that on the part, that house that was on the hill that goes down to the bridge, kind
Uh-huh.
of over there on
Yeah.
that street? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a steep hill in your front yard there. You're going up to it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So who all was born in that house?
Dale.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what day and year was he born? What was his birthday?
47, January the 24th.
January 20th.
No, that's Eric. I got Erickson, or Steve in
yeah.
46.
He was born in 47.
Born in
Who-
20, he was born in 1947
Yeah,
on
47,
January
okay.
26th.
January 26th.
Too
Would
many
you-
dates there.
January 26th, which is like what today?
Yes, today.
Today is his birthday, matter of fact, yeah. So he was born there, and you had little Dale up there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you and John lived there. And was anybody else born in that house?
No,
No?
no, just Dale at that. Then we
Okay.
sold that place and had a house built out on Timey Street.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we lived until we moved to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I always remember an interesting story he had about selling that house, because he'd been trying to sell it, and
Yeah.
nobody bought it yet, but it's time to
No.
move, and the other one's being built. So how'd you sell that house, the old house?
We had a realtor that helped us, and it'd been on the market, I don't know, 6 weeks maybe, and that house is almost finished out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a fella come and knocked on my door and wanted to know if he could look at the house. We had a for sale sign in front.
Yeah.
And I told him sure. So he come in and he looked it all over and he said, I want it, I want to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
He was a minister and having some people moving into his church, and didn't have a place to live.
Yeah.
Moving into a location. So it's sold, just
Well.
like that.
So when did you tell Johnny that you'd sold the house?
I called him at work.
You called him.
I called him at work. Yeah.
I bet he loved that phone call.
Yes, he did.
Phew, what a relief.
Yeah. Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. So then you moved from that house over to the one on Timea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And let's see, what year was that you moved into Timea?
Probably about 47, let's see, 48.
Yeah. About a year after Dale was born
Yeah.
in, about.
Yeah, he was pretty small when we moved in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a little more conveniences over there at that house. A little water for you there, Virge? Thank
Huh?
you, Sheila.
Thank you, dearie.
Yeah, yeah. We have good service here. Uh-huh. So let's see. So you and John and Dale lived in that house over there. Then who was born on Timea?
Steve and Sheila.
Okay. And what were their birthdays?
Sheila's on February the 15th, and Steve's is January 24th.
Yeah. What were the years? Sheila, February 15th. Of,
She was 57, and he even 50. I have figured out 53.
53. Yeah, 53.
Something like that.
Okay. All right. So you started filling up the house there. And you had a little dog too, didn't you? Do I remember a dog living there with you? You have a little dog?
Oh yeah.
In Timea?
Oh, we always had a little dog. Had a little black Conqueror spaniel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was his name?
Tippy,
Tippy.
I believe it's
Tippy was
No,
there.
wait a minute, Lady. Lady. was her
Lady.
name.
That was, yeah,
Lady
Lady. I
was her
remember
name,
Lady.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids went to school there. They didn't have to walk 7 miles to school.
Oh, no, just a few blocks.
It was a lot
Yeah,
closer.
Just a few blocks.
Yes, yes. And John worked for General Mills.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then, so you lived in Keokuk for quite a while then.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
till when? 60?
We moved down here in 57, I believe it was.
In 57.
Yeah.
Okay. So why did you leave Keokuk? Why did you move to
The
Kansas City?
mill closed down.
Okay, General Mills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
General Mills. Yeah, John come home from work one evening and told me that was in, I'd say April or something, and he said the 1st of June, where the mill would be closed down. And
Yeah.
at that time, we didn't know where we was gonna be living.
Uh-huh.
And his boss would call and tell me now that John was staying with General Mills, but he says we don't know exactly where he'll be sent.
Yeah.
So we ended up in Kansas City.
Oh. Oh, thank God again that it worked
Yeah.
out. Cause,
You bet.
yeah, you've been through a lot of things. You're losing
Oh,
the
my
first
gosh.
house, losing the second house, and then
Yeah.
you're losing this job in Keokuk, and
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where else to go. So you all packed up and moved down to Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
So kind of going from the little Keokuk to the big Kansas City. What was that
Oh.
like?
I did not like Kansas City. I didn't like it. But I had to, I wanted to eat, so I better stay here.
It's where the jobs were. So
Yeah, true.
yeah. So how did you decide to build this house or find this
It was
place?
being built before we ever moved from up there.
Okay.
John had come down about 6 weeks ahead of time,
Mhm.
because he had to be down here to work.
Yeah.
So he had a very good friend that was working at General Mills, Bill Tyndall, and he knew about where they were building houses. So
Uh-huh.
he brought John out here, and that's when John decided to have the house built.
Okay.
Yeah, we moved in September then,
September of
23rd.
September 23rd of 57. Did you
Yeah,
say?
I
Or
believe
was,
it was, yeah. We moved in here.
okay. All right. And then the kids switched to schools down
Uh-huh.
here.
Went over here to Gracemore grade school. And
Yeah.
Dale at that time was in high school in his senior year, so he went to North Kansas
Oh
City.
yeah.
Mhm.
So he was a senior when he moved down here.
Yeah.
That's a tough change to
Yeah,
be.
it was a
It
senior
was.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. But he did all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Were the kids nice to him here? They weren't mean because he's a new
No,
kid or
they
anything?
was very nice people.
Oh,
Very
good.
friendly and, oh yeah.
Yeah. And what about Steve and Sheila? Were they were in school too?
Uh-huh, over here at Gracemore.
Yeah. What grades do you remember they were?
Well, let's see, Sheila would have been probably first grade, and I think Steve, I don't know, 5th, 6th grade, I don't know.
About that.
And
Yeah.
then, of course, he went to North Kansas City High School, and Sheila at that time, by the time she was ready for high school, they had built the Winnetonka High School. So
Uh-huh.
that's where she went.
Yeah. That's
Right
where she
over here.
graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. Get all the kids through school here.
Mhm.
And what do you remember about just raising a family here in Kansas City? Kids going to school and
Well, as bad as what I thought it would be, you
Yeah.
know, moving to a big city.
yeah,
But they seemed to adjust real good and did fine.
yeah.
You
And you
know, so-
adjusted too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They seemed to do all right, made friends real
Mhm.
quick like.
Mhm.
So,
And I heard that you even had horses down here.
yeah, at one time, John and Sheila both had horses right over here. They sure did. They found a little farm that he could rent, and they got him riding horses and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, had you ever had horses before? Had John
No.
ever had horses?
Oh, he did years ago, you know,
Okay.
maybe he's still at home,
Uh-huh.
but not in Iowa. No, we
Yeah.
didn't in Iowa.
Just always wanted to have a horse again. So
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder, where did he buy the horse? Any idea where they came from, or did they have him here already?
He just
or-
happened to, I don't know if he saw it in the paper or by word of mouth that somebody
Yeah.
had these for sale.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other kind of activities did you do down here?
Pardon
In
me?
this big area, what kind of fun things did you get to do down here?
Well, it seemed like there was more things to do, more things to see, and Sunday morning we'd take drives and look the city all over and,
Uh-huh.
you know, kind of find our way around.
Yes.
And, no, they enjoyed it, I think. They really did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So how long did you have to drive around for you wouldn't get lost every time? You finally
Well-
figured out where things were?
Now that's a reason that we would leave on like on Sunday when there was much traffic. And we would drive all around the city because you know you had a chance to look and
Right,
see and
right.
yeah, and of course John come down here 6 weeks ahead of the rest of us. And where he had a sleeping room, it was an elderly couple,
Mm-hmm.
and he had had a heart attack and wasn't able to drive. So of an evening when John would get home from work, why this fella would want to take a ride. So he showed John all around
Oh, yeah.
the town, North
Good.
Kansas City. Yeah, so it's a big help.
It sure was.
Yeah, John pretty well knew his way around by the time we got down here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And what kind of things did the kids get involved in down here?
Well, mostly what kids would do, ball games. They get on teams, you know,
Mm-hmm.
on ball teams, and
Yeah, scouting kind of things, Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. and-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Good, good. Uh-huh. So let's see. So you finally got settled in here, and you've been here a long time. Let's see. Who else? One thing I didn't know about Uncle Johnny is actually where he came from, because he wasn't from Keokuk or
No,
from
no,
Missouri
he's from
or
around Macon, Missouri.
Macon, Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's where his cousin lived, and his
Mhm.
cousin went to Keokuk and found work. So he got in
Okay.
touch with John that he was hiring at General Mills.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he went up and went to work.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, does John have brothers and sisters, or
Huh?
how many were in his family?
In John's family?
In John's family.
Yeah, he's had 3 sisters and 2 brothers.
And 2 brothers.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And they lived around Macon, did they, or?
Most of them did. His sisters finally moved to Fort Madison because their husbands worked for the Santa Fe Railroad.
Mhm.
So they moved up there.
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And let's see, what kind of trips? Did you ever take any trips, family trips?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd go to Michigan and visit Raymond, my brother.
Yes.
And, yeah, we'd make trips down to Texas, for a couple of weeks in the winter maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you know anybody there, or you just wanted to go to Texas?
We just went to Texas, yeah.
Yes, did. And where'd you go in Texas?
Around Brownsville.
Oh, way down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah? Yeah. What kind of things did you do when you got there?
Oh, mostly sightsee and.
Sightsee around?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'd take drives and go over to Mexico. You could walk across to Mexico.
Yes, in those
So we'd
days.
go over there.
You could do that, yes,
Yeah.
yes, good. Mm-hmm. So then you just lived here at this house for a long, long time? And let's see, I know we didn't get to come down that often from up there.
Nope,
Then me and my brothers and sisters started scattering everywhere too.
it's true.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me about your kids and grandkids, and you got a lot of grandkids now. How'd that happen?
Well, I got got 2 grandkids, Eric and Carrie,
Uh-huh.
and then I've got 4 great grandkids. Yeah,
Mhm.
and they live, well, Lee Summit, fairly close. We get to see them.
Yes,
So, yeah.
yes, yeah. And, okay. And those are Steve's kids, because Steve's, he lost a couple of wives, I know. And his current wife's name is Maria? Maria's his wife, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Maria.
Maria.
Yeah. And let's see, I know Steve's was always into racing. Well, all of us like to do that in Keokuk, like the hot rods and all this.
Oh, yeah.
The racing cars on
Oh, yeah.
Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Steve races go-karts
Uh-huh.
still.
He did. He don't now.
Oh, he doesn't now?
No, he feels like he's got too old for that, but he enjoys watching them, and
Yes.
all that.
Yeah, yeah, but he still has his go-kart, does he?
So, I don't know if he does or not. I
Okay.
don't know. He probably does. I don't
Because he
know.
had a pretty fancy one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Steve's working at the school.
Mm-hmm.
And which school is he at?
Winnetonka.
Oh, you're at the Winnetonka.
Winnetonka School.
Yeah, yeah. So all the kids know him because they can see that.
Yeah.
Did Steve graduate there also, Minnetonka?
No, North Kansas City.
North Kansas City.
Yeah, he graduated from North Kansas City.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Sheila from
Winnetonka hadn't been built yet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Sheila's working here in Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and she's
That
at.
is some credit.
And what's the credit?
Edison Credit Union.
Edison Credit Union.
Sheila works.
Yeah. And she's been there quite a few years.
Yeah, I don't remember just how, but she's been there quite a while, ever since she got out of high school and early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about retiring someday.
Yeah.
Join the rest of us. Yeah, exactly.
She
Exactly.
hopes.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Anything else you can think you want to tell us about from your?
Well, no, not really. I think that pretty well covers it, you know,
Yeah.
what time we lived here.
Oh, yeah. You remember a lot just from day one growing up. I could ask, like, growing up on the farm there with your mom and your dad, and on the Hetzler farm. You said something about when your mom would want to take the kids to church. Your dad didn't want them to go to church.
I don't know whether he was a bit jealous of it or what. I never did figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was a good dad.
Yeah.
A good,
Good provider.
we sure never went hungry. He
Yeah.
was a good worker.
Yeah.
But I don't know on that part. I really
Yeah.
don't.
Because what did you say he did with the horse and buggy or with the wagon?
Well, yeah. In them days, why my mother would hitch up horses to the buggy or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And now, why she didn't get the kids ready first and then go hitch them, but she'd hitch them all up and get them, you know, ready to go, and
Yeah.
then go in and dress the kids. Well, he'd go out and unhitch the horses. Now, I don't know why. I never did figure it out. Don't know.
I wonder what they said to each other when she went out and found out it was unhitched,
Well,
It was all put
probably
away.
a fire kind of flew. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably not too happy about that,
No. No.
Oh, that was very strange, but he had something in his mind, obviously,
Yes,
there.
sir.
Yeah.
There was something about it, maybe jealous. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I never
yeah,
did figure it out.
yeah. Well, I know that Burl, Virginia got married in St. Patrick there in '37.
Mhm.
And where did you and Johnny get married?
In Keokuk.
In Keokuk.
Yeah, we was married in Keokuk.
Now, which church up there?
St. Mary's.
In St. Mary's Church.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who came to your wedding? Because like Mom and Dad's wedding, they just had the people stand up for them. That was all that was there.
Well, that was all that mine.
And yours too.
Yeah. It was during the war, you know, and Herb and my girlfriend, Dorothy Kerfman, was our witnesses, or stood with
Yeah?
us. Yeah, it was very simple, you know.
Yeah. And Herb was working in the field and
Yeah.
wasn't in any hurry to get over to Keokuk.
Well, yeah.
That was a long drive.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And I don't know exactly what was the hold up, whether the horses got out or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was about 7, 8 o'clock when we were married.
What time did you plan to get married? What time were you planning
Well, I
to
think
get
we
married?
planned it for about, say, 3 or 4, you know, in the afternoon.
But Herb wasn't there yet.
But he couldn't get up there.
What did he say when he came in?
Well, I don't know if he said anything or not. I don't know, remember.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. There's a thing about your brothers and sisters. So Raymond and Dolly got married in, oh, did they get married in St. Patrick or where'd they get married?
Ewing.
In Ewing.
They was married in Ewing. Now, why or
Why
I
over
don't
there?
know, by a priest and everything
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
And my cousin, let's see, they were brother and sister. They were cousins of mine. They were their witness for Raymond
Uh-huh.
and Dolly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And Uncle Ernest never got married.
Nope.
He wasn't interested. Or
He never did get married.
he was
or
very
did-
independent.
Huh?
He was a very independent
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah.
definitely.
He had his own mind about things.
Yeah.
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 Very big-hearted. Anytime somebody needs some help or a little money, why,
Yeah, he gave away and bought things that people didn't know about.
that's right.
Like there was that stained glass window in the church of St. Patrick. Gave away and bought things that people didn't know about.
That's right.
Like there was that stained glass window in the church of St. Patrick.
Uh-huh.
And until you look there and see that it was donated by him, you would never know because he wouldn't tell anybody.
That's right. He never told a soul.
That's right. My
No.
gosh.
I don't know.
And-
That's just his way.
It was.
Yeah.
He's very quiet about it. He was very careful about spending, but very generous too.
That's right. He never.
He was very careful about spending,
Oh,
but very,
very
generous.
conservative.
If somebody
Yeah,
needed
but
it. Oh,
yet,
yeah.
if anybody needed money, he had his billfold out, you know.
Yeah. Did he ever tell you the story that I had heard long ago? He got up one morning to make breakfast. He just had one egg. And he thought, well, I could cook the one egg, but I could make a whole cake with it. So he actually made a cake with that egg instead of frying that egg.
I never heard
Because
that.
you get more meals out of it that way or something. So I don't know if that was true,
That's
but I
about
heard
right.
that story long ago.
I had never heard that,
And
but I
could-
believe it.
I could see him doing that, you know?
Oh, God.
Yeah, he was a very frugal guy.
Yes, he was.
But every Christmas, here came the presents in the mail, you know?
He'd be very generous. Oh, yeah.
Or he'd send each of his kids $5 bill, and man, $5.
Yeah.
We clipped
Sure
that,
did.
clipped that under the tree with a clothespin, and that was great.
Yeah.
And he'd go to the Yankee store up there in Michigan, do
Yeah.
his shopping.
Yeah.
What about Uncle Herb when he grew up? He's such a great guy, and he never got married either.
Nope.
He wasn't interested either?
No, he just, I don't know. I don't know why.
He just did. Hey, some woman missed out on a good husband, I tell you, but he again was a really generous guy, slow
Yeah.
going, you know, very easy going.
Yeah.
Yeah, really great guy. Yeah, you had a good family there, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, really.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Do you remember anything about Christmases on the farm or anything like that, or?
Oh, yeah. I'd always have a Christmas tree and decorate it.
Yeah.
And my brother and two brothers in Michigan, we'd usually get a box from up there, presents, you know.
Yes.
And a lot of times the kids, a little younger, they might get toys and they'd send money and, you know.
Yes.
So that's, yeah,
Yeah. So Michigan was a land of opportunity.
that's right,
In
at
those
that
days, 'cause
time.
General Motors is going great guns, and you can make good money up there.
That's true,
Lots of work to be had.
yeah, yeah.
So-
Many from around home went up there and went to work.
Yeah.
They sure did.
Yeah. I think a lot of those people lost their farms, went on to
Oh,
Michigan too.
yes, definitely. Oh, yeah,
That was the place to be.
yeah,
Now, thank God there was such a place.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. I can't think of anything else right now. Can either of you guys want to ask some things here, or can you remember some things? You or Sheila?
No, I've learned an awful lot
I
of
have
things.
Any stories you've heard? Or?
Oh.
I know Aunt Dolly would always say about stories that when Mama was growing up, there was things that Mama didn't want to do, like churn the butter.
Oh,
And Grandma Spurgeon wanted her to churn the butter, and I guess she didn't, and she hid out for the longest time. They could not find her for some time. You remember that story, Mama?
You were
What
hiding
happened?
from the chores?
from the butter churner.
What
Yeah,
happened?
my arm would get so tired churning that butter.
Absolutely.
Well, of course
You
it
know,
would.
Absolutely.
And I don't guess I gotta break it all. I had to keep on churning. Yeah, that's one job I just hated.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Because my arm would I just have to keep turning.
Yeah.
Oh.
You get tired, sure it would.
And
So-
my mother caught me on a wood pile and gave me a whipping. I hid in the doghouse.
Oh.
Oh, Lordy.
I don't blame you, Virge. I would have done the same thing.
Funny how that slipped her memory as we're talking here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember Aunt Dolly would say that when Mama was born, that they didn't think she's gonna make it to the night. You had some kind of whooping cough or something, and she said that they would have to. You'd be coughing so bad because she's like 6 months old.
Yeah.
They'd have to hang it by your feet, and Grandma would go in, take her hand, and get the mucus out of your throat so you could breathe.
Oh my
Really?
goodness.
And then you had to sleep by the wood burning stove, I guess, something like that. I remember Aunt Dolly telling me that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my uncle didn't think I was gonna make it. Uncle Jimmy Browning, he says, you'll never raise her. She'll never make it through the whooping cough.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
You showed him.
yeah.
You've been
Yep.
tough ever
Yeah,
since.
You better.
Here you are, 88 years later now. What did Jimmy Brandon know?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's true, because you were the first girl in the family there.
Huh?
You're being the first girl
Yeah.
in the family there.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
That make your mom pretty happy that
Oh,
I got
yeah.
a girl now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what was it? Was it my dad that said 4 boys, there was no room for a girl or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, he didn't think I had any business there.
It was your brother said
Our
that?
brothers.
Yeah, your dad, I think, said that, yeah.
We don't want no girl.
Yeah, we don't want no dumb girl. Well, I think they were mighty lucky to have you, Virge.
Yes,
Oh,
we all
I
are.
don't know. I just take up space.
Get sititis. Oh, what a life though. My gosh, and all the moving around. And I told Virg, this seems strange. They were, booted out of their first house, and they were booted out of their second house, and then Johnny lost his job at General Mills there in Keokuk, and
Yeah,
what else is there around? Not much.
that's right, in
Luckily
that
he-
area,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And all of those were extremely,
And you know, you
Oh,
don't think
major.
too much about it at the time. You just go through
that's
it.
right,
But you
Yeah.
think back after, you
Yeah.
think, oh, golly.
yeah.
When he
How did
come
we
home
do
and
that?
said the mill was going down and
Yeah,
no job.
yeah,
With 3 kids to feed
yeah, you're
and 1
absolutely right.
income.
Hmm.
But you're right, they didn't dwell on things, they just made it work,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
because that's the way they were raised.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, John wasn't somebody just to sit back and moan about it.
No.
He would fix it.
That's right, nope,
It's true.
yep.
Used to be a den mother to the boys.
Huh?
Used to be a den mother to the boys when they was in the Boy Scouts.
You were the den mother?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah?
I was den mother.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was, I think it was Dale who was in the Scouts.
And Steve.
Yeah. And we'd have the meetings there at my house, and I had a helper,
Yeah.
den mother assistant.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love you, Mama.
We all love you, Mama.
Okay.
I always say the last thing I hang up, I said, "What you always know, I always love you."
And we won't make you churn the butter.
No, no,
Or beat
no.
the rug.
Right.
Or can.
Sure.
Or anything like that.
No more churning the butter.
No hiding in the doghouse. So your mom was a little mad at that, was she?
She's pretty perturbed.
Yep.
I bet so.
The trouble is, right on the where we had all our wood for the stoves and probably some nice little switches,
Oh,
that's where
Handy.
she found me.
Very handy.
That's where she found me.
You picked a dumb place to hide.
well, she hadn't done it before. She didn't know the good places.
Well, next time you better get up in the hayloft. Yeah, that should be
that'd
safer.
good. Oh,
Holy cow. Yeah. But I'm glad you learned to cook there on the farm, because you and my mom cooked some wonderful meals when we all got together.
it's true.
Whether your house or our house or Herb's or wherever we were, or
Yeah,
picnic on the river or something like that.
it's true.
We had these big pans of fried chicken, these great big cakes.
Oh, yeah, pans like
Oh
this.
my gosh.
With fish and chicken and.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wonder we're so skinny these days after all that,
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, the guys they would get this great big, like a stock tank thing, fill it with ice and water and put the beer and the pop in there. Wow.
Yeah.
Then they go over hand fishing in the creek to see if they could fry some fish.
What we took for granted.
Oh yeah, the simple pleasures, those were really good days.
You got it right.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
Little did we realize it.
Well,
You don't think much about it.
True. We knew it was good, we just didn't know how rare it would be
Right.
to have those days. Because
right.
kids nowadays don't get to have those kind of things.
Yep. That's right.
If they get entertainment, they go to the worlds of fun or something like that, and that's fun for them, but it's just
Yeah.
not the same.
Yep.
It's not family time.
Yeah. We had it. Well, are you talked out?
Oh, not really, but whatever.
Well, if you got more to say, I got more tapes too, And I can't pay you for more than an hour, though.
Well,
That's right. She was
well,
a
you know, I
high-priced
told you
interviewer.
I charge $45 an
I
hour.
know. I'm gonna go pass the hat here a little bit, see what I can get you.
Do about 20 minutes worth.
Oh my.
Maybe at church tomorrow, you can pass a collection basket, get a little extra. Take my share out of there to give you. Oh, it's worth $45 an hour. Yes, it is.
I can't believe how well you can remember dates and times,
Yeah.
and that's just amazing, Virge, that you
Well,
can remember all of those
There's
things.
times though that I get stuck, I can't remember,
Oh.
you know, what you.